My parents never wanted me? My mom and dad had me unplanned, and my mom gave birth to me right when her career was just starting off. So they thought it'd be best for me to stay with my grandparents in a different country for 8 years as my grandparents were well off and had the means to take care of me. So growing up I saw my grandparents as my actual parents, and I even called them mom and dad in their native language, and I only saw my parents every couple of years or so. I think that even when I was young I started picking up on how I had a very weird situation in terms of upbringing, and a lot of people used to mock me for calling my grandparents mom and dad as opposed to grandma and grandpa, and I remembered being really upset and crying over it. I knew that they were just being playful, but it was confusing to me as a kid. I truly did believe that my grandparents were my parents. Since my grandparents took care of me for 8 years, my mom had ample amount of time to really build her career, and she's very successful in her job. Something that I'm proud of her for achieving. So when I was 8 my parents put me on a plane and they finally decided that they were ready to fully have me. This is where the problem started. In theory I didn't know them and they didn't know me. It's not like I was a baby who you can raise into whoever you want them to. I was already 8 and I already had my own personality and thought process. I felt like they just expected me to just magically adjust into this new environment with no help whatsoever. And having to deal with this as well as transitioning into a new school was difficult enough. When I was around 9 or 10 my mom announced that she was pregnant again, and I remembered not being excited about this. My brother is 9 now and I love him more than everything, but to this day I have this heavy feeling of just being hurt. My brother was planned and I correlated it to that he was wanted as opposed to me who was unplanned, therefore I was just a burden. And it also was a blow to the stomach realizing that since my parents had him at a stage where they were ready to have kids, that meant that my brother didn't have to live with my grandparents like I did. When my brother was born, my parents started the hurtful comments and they always just picked on me, and I started distancing myself, and I got to watch them in the background have this fun family that genuinely loved each other. My parents did take good care of me. I always had good clothes, even went to private school, college, and paid for, in theory, good stuff, but I felt like the emotional support was never there. They always used how they financially support me and how that's enough. I'm 20 now and if I think about it long enough it makes me cry. It makes me sad that younger me didn't deserve feeling that way. I make jokes a lot that a little trauma always adds to your personality, but I don't want to keep feeling this way. I don't want to feel this heavy feeling.